Everyone, I'm Jack Dunigan and this is The Practical Leader. This is the third video in a series on the 6 bases of power. There'll be 7 altogether. There was an introductory video. This one is dealing with transactional power. You can catch the other 2 either on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and put in The Practical Leader and it should come up, or on my blog, thepracticalleader.com. Power, which is the most common form. It's found in every business on the face of the earth these days. People will come in and they will exchange their abilities for money or other incentives. Time, talent can be bought, can be rented really, not bought. And we give money, we give other incentives these days for that. In nonprofits, however, the transaction is different. There is an exchange, but it is not for money. People who lead nonprofits are sadly mistaken if they think that their volunteers do not work for something. Volunteers are not free. This is my field for many, many years, and I'll be writing more about this in time to come because it has a great deal to do with all employees, even in a for-profit setting, that there are other currencies that we need to pay in that keep people engaged, involved, and enthused about the job, which is very important. Gives us a commercial edge if you have enthusiasm from your employees. Transaction in terms of money can buy time and talent. It cannot buy one's heartfelt participation, at least not for long. Over time, people tend to get comfortable with the money and comfortable with the incentives, comfortable with the perks, and they look for something more from their job, some sense of fulfillment. Granted, it's a complex situation and it does vary from person to person. That's why I always advocate, if you're going to be an effective leader, you need to know the people that work with you. And I'm not talking about being chummy and buddy with them. I'm talking simply you know them and understand them, and you have figured out what trips the trigger. And you are greatly at a disadvantage if you think all employees are motivated by the same things. They are not. And once you learn that, your degree of effectiveness will go way, way up. Now, transactional power, the giving of a wage or a salary to somebody, tends to lead to individualism. Nothing wrong with that at all, because that's the most basic element of motivation and participation is individual. Some organizations are not too bad at building teamwork, but those teams tend to be relatively small, and the incentives that are offered by the company tend to be structured to reward and encourage it. Some do it well, some do it badly, really badly. On my blog, where I write up the notes on this, I mention one company, you can read about it there, that doesn't do a good job at it at all. They think they're doing a wonderful job. Most employees have given up trying to figure out how to gain that incentive, and a good many of them think it's a shell game, that nobody can actually win it. So if transaction is going to work, it must be, first of all, personal. It has to connect with the individual in ways that mean something to that individual. Don't guess. Money does mean something, that's true. But don't guess. Find out what it is and make your adjustments as needed. It also must be manageable. Simple enough that an individual can see how to make the thing work. If it is complicated and complex, and if the rules are always changing, they're going to give up. And transactional power is going to be diminished. I'm talking in this series about ways to maximize your influence as a leader and a manager over the people that work with you and work for you. And so this is a game that's won or lost in subtleties, in little bitty things. And your incentive program has to be manageable if somebody's going to take advantage of it. It also must be meaningful. It's got to match the values and ideals that are resonant within the employee. You can read more about this in this article on my blog, thepracticalleader.com. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, you might want to subscribe down below and you might want to like it on your Facebook page or send a tweet about it. I'd appreciate it very much. Very grateful. I'd love to hear from you and give me some comments about this so that I'd be able to respond to them. Thank you very much for watching.